Monroe Institute has decided to launch a lot of their stuff that you used to have to pay for. Now, Monroe Institute is a place that you go to. You can go there and they have seminars and they help you get to the place you want to be in the way of like enlightenment and out-of-body experiences, stuff like that. Whatever you want to do, you can take that course and get there, right? So anyway, I guess because of Corona, they're not doing it right now. But they are, but they are putting stuff out online, like on their YouTube channel. They have a YouTube channel. I'll link it underneath. But they just recently have been putting out like all these different like meditation, like the stuff that I use, the Hemi Sync and whatnot. Hair feels thick today. All that, right? So, okay, so then I used a specific one that I will post down below. And it was so good. And literally 5 minutes and I was out of body. I immediately get out of body and I hear Cozy, right? So I'm like, oh, Cozy's, like, she barks at night a lot. Like, she waits until it's dark and we're in bed and then she goes to the fucking couch in the living room and she looks out the living room and just barks. So I hear what I think is Cozy barking first off. Like, that's important because Cozy's not barking. But I hear what I think is Cozy barking and I go out in the living room to look. And as I go out to the living room, I'm starting to realize that I'm out of body because the edges of stuff is like disappearing. So I don't know if I was like getting out of body or out of body, and this is just my experience. I don't know. So anyway, I get to the front and I look out and it looks normal. It looks like it does right now. And then as I turn around away from that window, and now I'm looking, if I'm at the window and I turn around and look, I'm looking at like my whole living room, my kitchen, and the hallway and the portal, okay? So I turn around and look, and it's morphing into the cabin. It's like morphing, though. It's like halfway my house, halfway the cabin. So I just stand there and wait, and then finally, most of it is the cabin, okay? So I'm like, shit, I wonder if my bedroom is the cabin, like, because I can't see my bedroom. I don't know why I cared, but I did. Oh, no, first thing I did was I called for Jeff, and then I instinctively knew he wasn't there. Do you know what I mean? So I turn around, look, and watch it fade, realizing I'm out of body. And I say to myself, don't call so frantically that you kick yourself out, because that's what I've done a lot. So I stand in one spot quiet, and I go, Jeff, and then I go, Jeff, and I look around, and it feels like the world's wobbling a little, so I stop. I'm like, no, don't do this. Don't kick yourself out of your OBE. So I go into, I walk down the hallway, which is now, as I'm walking through it, is still going from my house to the cabin. So I walk down the hallway and into my bedroom, and my bedroom now looks like the cabin walls, cabin this, cabin that, but my bed is still there. Not everything in my room, just my bed. And no one's in the bed, so it might be that it didn't want me to see myself. I don't know. But I couldn't because the bed was empty like I left it. Except for two things. There are two phones. Not cell phones. One was like an old-fashioned black phone. And the other one was a regular, like, desk model punch phone. So there's two phones there, and one starts to ring. So I answer and go, and a man's on the phone. He's like, "Are you there? Are you there?" It's crackling, all beat up. And I was like, I'm here. Is Jeff there?" And he's like, "No. Jeff, no." Like, he doesn't know what I'm talking about. So I'm like, "Who are you?" And he's like, "Can you hear me?" And it's crackling and crackling and crackling. So I'm like, oh my God, like, who is this? And what side are they on? So then I started getting the idea that they weren't on the same side as me, that like I'm out of body and they're trying to reach people out of body. Like, that's what I felt like. So I said, "Are you trying to get on the other side? Are you trying to get on the other side?" And the guy couldn't hear me. He's like, "Hello." I did not, by the way, recognize his voice at all in any sense of the word. Like, nowhere was I like, "Oh, that's so-and-so." No. So the other phone is just sitting there, the big one with the dial. So I picked that up, and no one's there. It doesn't even have a dial tone. But I hit operator, and I'm like, "Operator, operator, operator." No one's answering. All of a sudden, it like clicks to life. Just makes all these clicking noises, these like kind of like trying to connect noises, but it can't. I'm like still playing with the two phones. The guy is I can no longer hear him, but there's static. It's just going back and forth with these two phones. And I know I'm supposed to be like getting this message, but I'm not. Like that, and I'm frantic about that. And all of a sudden, Cozy starts barking at the front door again, or at the front again. But yet when I went out there, Cozy wasn't out there. So she must really be barking at the front. So I guess between that and I was getting creeped out with the phone noises, to be honest, I was like, what the fuck? What is going on? Like, who wants to talk to me? And all of a sudden I came back. And I was so excited to have gone. Like, I literally jumped up out of bed and I looked down the hallway and fucking Cozy's at the front door barking again. So then I'm like, why does she bark into the dark? Like, there's nothing there. Nothing. Not a breeze, nothing. So I go out and I look. And I'm like looking outside for like whatever's bothering her so much. And she's looking at me like, don't you see it? Don't you see it? But I don't. I like honestly wish I could, but I don't. So I just head in to go back and lay back down. So I lay back down. I'm really excited. I'm really loving this new thing from Monroe Institute, right? So, and it's still on. It's still going. So I started over from the beginning, and I close my eyes and I start doing my circular breathing, and I'm like, come on, you can do this again. You can do this again. You can do it again. You really can. And as fast as I could, I went like, boop, over. And I was like I was sitting up somehow. But like sometimes I do miss time, right? When I'm like clicking over, it's like time isn't really there. And I'm sitting on the edge of my bed. Walls are all the cabin. And it's dark outside, by the way. When I click over, even if it's light, if it's dark here, it's usually daytime there. And it wasn't. It was like dark night there. And so I'm sitting on the edge of my bed saying, oh my God, I need to answer the phone. And at the minute I thought that, the phone starts ringing, only it's down in the living room. So I get up and I start to walk down the hallway, past the portal, into my living room. And as I hit the portal, I realize the phone is ringing on the other side of the portal. Yeah, I'm not going there. So I could have put my arm and slide it through and see what's there, but I was just too scared. And the minute I realized where the phone was ringing, I was like, bye, and came back out of my body and was back in bed. So anyway, I'm late. I have to go, but that was my newest experience. Please let me know what you think. If there's symbolism there, something, who you think the guy on the phone was, because I have no fucking clue. I really didn't recognize him. So, okay, I love you guys. Bye.